Today is August 29th. The Yankees are on a winning streak, and we're talking to the manager. We also have sharp stats. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake. Talking Yanks with old
John Boy and Jake. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. Baby D in the box. And we are talking about the Yankees here on Talkin' Yanks, which is brought to you by SeatGeek. Jake, how do you do?
Jimmy, Davis, everyone joining us. I'm doing all right. Yanks are hot, like you said. 1-0. That's all you got to do the rest of the way.
Hey, how about them Yanks? Do you know what movie that's from?
We've done this before. I forget.
It's definitely come up before.
Isn't it like a robbery movie, like a bank robber movie?
Not a bank robbery. There's a heist involved for sure.
Heist scene.
Doing all right. My shirt fits well today, which is rare. I think it's something to do with the kind of squatty body I got. But I'm doing good. I don't know. I think we're in a little bit of a hangover of this Yankees season of like.
How about them Yanks?
What movie's that?
Hello. How about them Yanks?
Lucky number 11.
Okay. So we kind of gave up. We called up the kids. All right, we called up the kids. That was fun. And it's like, oh, we're still kind of bad. Like, this isn't a great watch.
The 2011 Cardinals were in a worse spot than the Yankees are right now, and they won the World Series. Why do you have no faith?
I think I just got some. How about them Yanks?
Yeah.
How about them Yanks?
Hello. How about them Yanks?
They go, I did see this on the internet. If the Yankees go, they win every game the rest of the way.
Division?
They're World Series champs. I don't think they'd win the division. But I think they would be World Series champs.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
How are you doing?
And that's likely too. I'm good. I have enjoyed watching the games with a new mindset that I'm glad the Yankees have committed to. There's interesting things. Savvy being good is fun. Like I know the teams that he's performing well against aren't awesome offensive teams.
Right.
But it's still just like, oh, cool. I like Savvy. Homegrown Yank. Let's end the season well. You know?
Sevy roar.
Yeah, we got a roar. 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Tigers.
What?
Man, I don't know. Like, Miggy Cabs.
Yeah.
What are his numbers on the year?
Not good.
Okay. He's an experiment, basically. Like, okay, here's a good one. You know how people say, could Mariano compete? You know, like, could Mariano compete in this day and age? Or like when Roger Clemens was like 40 and he was like 5 years retired and he was striking out college kids. And they're like, do you think Clemens could compete? Like, we're getting to see that. Miggy Cabs is 4 years retired, but still playing.
Yeah.
And it's a nice experiment thought process for like.
I do think the pitcher-hitter side of that's pretty important.
Well, give me another example. That was just the two guys I could think that people have said that about in the past.
I think that's the thing. I think it's easier with pitchers because it's easier to get out. So
like
I think
Manny kept playing just in a different league.
Right. I think your reaction time just goes, and that's.
But even just like the still frame,
Miggy's
him
the
standing
biggest,
in the box looks like
Miggy's
like senior circuit league.
Biggest guest hitter in baseball.
But
it's all
what's kind of messed up about Miggy is technically there's a butter knife to be done on his season.
Oh no.
The first month and a half was brutal, and his last 51 games, not an everyday player. His last 51 games, 290 with a 765 OPS. Average king.
I just think it's an experiment that we're all getting to see. What if that guy played 4 more years?
I mean, I feel bad it is affecting like his career numbers, like
It's awful for his legacy and the way you're going to remember him.
His OPS is he's at a 902 career OPS. That if he
he's a compiler.
If he keeps going,
I'm counting stats though, Jay.
He's compiling the wrong way.
Hopefully, well, he's done in a few weeks, so we might be okay.
What's wrong?
Miguel Cabrera, back-to-back MVPs, 2012, 2013.
Yeah, well, one of them should have been Trout's, but yeah.
Last year, 112 games, he had 5 home runs, a 622 OPS. This year in 78 games, he has 3 home runs, a 658 OPS. So
the no more power is nuts.
Take that, Tigers.
Oh, I was thinking about
Yankees.
Getting stuck with Stan's contract. I was like, oh my goodness, like the Tigers have been stuck. But anyway, let's do the sharp stats.
Yes,
the sharpest of stats.
Hey guys, it's the Queen of Stats, and we are doing another good things segment here. And the good thing that we want to talk about is DJ LeMahieu since the All-Star break. So you guys talked about this on the episode, the series recap episode you just did. So just his numbers before the break, he had a 220 batting average, a 285 on base, and a 357 slug. Since the All-Star break, it's a 315 batting average, a 420 on base, and a 495 slugging percentage. Just to put that into context, before the break, among the 131 batters with at least 300 plate appearances, his weighted runs created plus, that's that stat on Fangraphs, you can find overall offensive production.
Lowercase
he ranked
W.
124th out of 131 batters.
Not good.
Before the break. Since the break, there's 146 batters that have at least 130 plate appearances. He ranks 21st in weighted runs created.
Oh.
So obviously just a huge improvement in his basic stats there. And the biggest thing that jumps out to me about what he's doing better is when you look at his walk rate. His walk rate has nearly doubled. Before the break, it was 8%. Since the break, it's 14.5%. Now, his strikeout rate is also down slightly, and his chase rate is down a lot, from 29% to 22% since the break. So obviously, a lot better plate discipline. He's seeing the ball a lot better. And if you look at his plate discipline, it actually started in late June, the improvement. And I know you guys like to look at that, the stat of walks compared to strikeouts in a game. So in the first 64 games of the season he played, he had 4 games with more walks than strikeouts.
Ooh.
In the last 44 games that he's played, he's had 12 of those games with more walks than strikeouts. So that's one thing that you really, really like to see with DJ. In terms of the quality of contact that he's getting, now his average exit velocity and his hard hit percentage, interestingly, are about the same before and after the break. But what has really jumped out is that his barrel percentage, that's the best kind of contact that you can make, is nearly doubled since the All-Star break. So he's getting just a lot more opportunities for extra base hits and power, a lot more live drive, a lot more impactful swings. And you can really see that in his sweet spot percentage, which is the percentage of swings that he gets with the ideal launch angle. That's increased from 30% to 37%. So a lot more power, a lot better quality of contact there. And you're going to love this stat. And this is all leading to this. So according to StatCast, he had 13 pop-ups in the first half of the season. In the second half, he has 0. That's what we want to see from DJ. And just one more thing I want to talk about in terms of his quality of contact. Hey guys, just one more thing on that quality of contact that I want to talk about. Now I mentioned DJ. Normally, what you would think of as a good DJ is hitting the ball to the opposite field and getting those little squibblers through the infield. But really, where his improvement has come is that he's hitting the ball to the pull side more often, and he's getting better results on those pulled balls because he's hitting them in the air instead of ground balls. So he's having more pulled batted balls that are fly balls and line drives, fewer grounders that are pulled, and you can see that in the results on those batted balls that are pulled. So before the break, he had a 344 batting average and a 547 slugging percentage on pulled balls in play, which seems good. But after the break, His batting average on pulled balls, this is all balls, batted balls, is 467, and his slugging percentage is 867. So you can really see he's taking advantage of pulling the ball in the air on line drives more often since the break. All right. Talk to you next week, guys.
Tons of good stuff there from Katie, Jake.
Woo, and tons of good stuff from Rocket Money. There's subscriptions for everything these days. Streaming services, fitness programs. Sometimes it feels impossible to keep tabs on what you're paying for every month. I know that. That's why we are such huge fans of Rocket Money. It's a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. That's nice.
That's nice.
Instead of getting an app that costs you money, Rocket Money can save you money. Sounds like a Yogi Berra quote. Rocket Money, stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Yanks. I mean, that's just a fun sentence, people. rocketmoney.com/Yanks. That feels like three of my favorite words in one sentence.
Rocket and money are good favorite words.
Yanks?
Yeah. Yep.
rocketmoney.com/Yanks. Go check it out.
Yanks.
Might save yourself some money. What was that?
That was kind of how you said it.
Make good noises in those words.
No pop-ups, 0 pop-ups, 1-0
How'd you
to
know
me.
that?
That was a good guess. I was going to guess 1 for a second. I changed it to 0. The brain works quick. DJ pulling balls is wild to me because he never really did that. And that's cool that he's pulling. He usually pulled a couple, and when he did, it was a homer. And the fact that he's pulling more balls. And I was looking at, I have his spray chart.
I was looking at his spray chart.
I have it before the break and after the break. And that 10 to 11 exit or launch angle line drive, like he's kind of just been peppering the in front of the infielder line drive, like the single hit. And he's got them everywhere. You see this orange circle?
I see that orange circle.
So he's spreading these just like get it over the infielder's head line drive hits in front of the outfielder.
Hits.
Those are just hits. It's a nice hit. And he's doing it to all fields. He's got it everywhere. So that is cool, man. And if you were building a pie chart on the resurgence of DJ LeMahieu,
Yeah.
and these are your options to fill it with. Sean Casey effect. Dylan Lawson D effect. Healthy toe. Finally, that's the third bucket. Better family life. Or new musical artists, like picked up a new genre.
I'm gonna put family life at 0. I think his family life is the same.
Okay.
He enjoys it. I think he's a chatterbox with his wife. Like he goes home and he just yucks it up.
She gets it all.
It's hockey.
You won't believe what happened at the field today. It was crazy.
First pitch fastball.
And Peraza's trying to learn third, and he's a shortstop.
And I like first.
I kind of like it.
People think I don't like it because people talk to me, but I like talking. I just don't like talking while I'm playing.
So I'm going to put
Not
that
at
at
work.
0.
Okay.
I'm going to put new music at 10%.
Okay. You get a rhythm.
What was DJ's song he used to come up
Like
to
the
that
Shoe Shine
used
Boys?
to crack us up?
Speed it up.
Spit it up. Spit it up.
So music is a factor for DJ LeMahieu. Good show. I will go 20% Sean Casey because like we just found out, Sean Casey, I don't want to say was a similar hitter to DJ. He was a big lefty, but he was kind of a contact guy. Like, put the barrel on it, hit. Like, I guarantee you, like Sean Casey and know how sometimes we talk about pitchers and hitters, they go like, they're like, oh man, these guys, they know the game at a different level. Like, I think DJ and Sean Casey don't in the nicest way. I think they're just like, find your pitch, hit it.
Find your pitch, hit it.
And I think DJ's been doing
Well,
that.
I think Dylan Lawson's whole strategy was hit strikes hard.
Dylan Lawson being out was the rest of my pie chart.
How much?
I just don't think they meshed.
Oh, no. I don't think he messed with anyone. It was hit strikes hard. So the Yankees were just like swinging at everything as hard as they could.
Yeah.
Even breaking balls.
Well, and that was one of the interesting things Katie brought up. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Katie. And to my wife, Katie. Thank her as well. She just texted me.
And your wife, Katie. All my buddies married Katies.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Kyle
Popular
married
name.
a Katie.
Yep.
Jack's about to marry Katie. DJ, in 2019 and 2020, his excelling seasons with the Yankees, which it's crazy that it's that far back, by the way. I thought 2021 was a good DJ season. It was not.
Yeah, that was the bad one.
So basically, like 3 years now, DJ doesn't have a good season. Last year's numbers ended up okay, but like not good. Anyways, the part that kind of surprised me was the barrel percentage, because even in DJ's good season, his barrel percentage, sneaky, isn't good. But that's because he's like an outlier, because I think barrel percentage is exit velo and launch. And I don't think
It's a combination.
And I don't think he's a launch guy.
No, he's like a 10 launch.
So
I think barrel's like 15 to 20 or something.
In 2020, when he, was essentially, he finished top 3 in the MVP. Top 3 in the MVP. DJ LeMahieu was top 3 in the MVP.
Yeah.
In
2020?
His barrel percentage was ninth
2020
percentile.
doesn't count.
9th percentile. So yeah, he is a unique hitter. In a way, he feels like a throwback hitter a little bit. And it's like we kind of ended up here last episode, so I'm glad Katie put some more stats on it. But like, it'll be nice to pencil in DJ LeMahieu to a role next year. It's just kind of what role is that? But even seeing that he still has this in him, and God, I hope he finishes another month with it, because he can make his season feel a lot better on the whole. Get the OPS plus over 100. Get the batting average over 250. Like, he's at 245 right now. So if he has a really hot month, his season can look solid. And that's with what was Katie's number? 121 out of 141 in the first half or something?
121 out of 131 qualified. Second half, there was
Not good.
146 qualified. Not good. I'd like to see him stay hitting so we can go into next year being like, yes. Because, Boone said DJ was good last year, but it didn't ever feel like DJ, I don't think, at any point. Like it did in 19 and 2020.
It felt like a revised DJ.
Like first half of 2022, felt like we were trying to bring it to everybody. Like, no, DJ's great.
You know what DJ's felt like lately?
What's that, Jim?
Like 2019 DJ. Like the at-bats he was giving in the postseason in 2019 were like fouling pitches off in the at-bat. Kind of like you could just tell he's just locked in more. That's how I felt in the games against was it the Rays? The game when he had the only 2 hits versus the Rays? The second at-bat, is that the right one? Was that a kind of a longish at-bat?
I think so, because I laughed at that game because DJ got his second hit. It was the Yankees' only 2 hits. And I was laughing because, remember, it used to be like K's thing on the broadcast, and he'd be like, and another multi-hit day for DJ LeMahieu. And that used to happen like every other game.
It was that game. It was Fairbanks. He got a hit to lead off the 9th on a 2-2 count. And if I remember, as I was watching that, I was like, he looks locked in. Like all of the way he was taking pitches, the way he was swinging. And I don't think I felt that about him last year. So I hope that feeling continues the rest of the season. It would be really nice for next year to feel that way. Excuse me?
Another note on DJ LeMahieu and Sean Casey. They're playing size and weight almost exactly the same. Both listed 6'4", Sean Casey 215, DJ listed 6'4", 220. Not 2 guys you think of as the same body, and there's lefty-righty stuff there, but I think
fellow talls.
I think they look at each other and give a little Spider-Man meme.
Oh, it was also this at-bat where the ump totally blew a fastball call to DJ. Fairbanks opened him up like perfect curveball and fastball, and called the fastball a ball. But then 97 top of the zone Fairbanks came at him, and DJ spoiled it. Didn't like get on it, but spoiled it. And I was like, okay, like we've seen him with a bad foot. Like that pitch isn't even close. And then next fastball with the run on the outside, he takes it. So then you got a 2-2 count, and I think he hits a slider. Yeah, middle of the zone, but he hit it hard. And freeze frame on Fairbanks' face at the end.
Do we have a Dylan Lawson height? It's just a crazy. I've Googled and clicked on a lot of links, and I can't find Dylan Lawson's height.
What's he hiding?
I don't know. We can ask Boone, right?
I don't think he's interested in that. Speaking of, let's go to Bantering with Boone. Jay.
Bantering with Boone is brought to you by Vizio.
Vizio killed the Video star.
Value.
Oh, yeah.
Jim. Because we're talking big 4K screens under $500 and dollars. You can watch baseball all season long on your Vizio TV. If you got an MLB TV subscription, link that through your Amazon Prime account. Vizio Watch Free Plus comes with the MLB Network, totally free. Watch.
Totally free.
Maybe check out some other teams. Maybe do some scouting. Come up with your Yankees free agency off-season plan. I schemed some things.
Maybe trade partners.
I got excited. Vizio has always been the MVP of value.
Huh.
So head on over to Vizio.com to check out how you can elevate your viewing experience all season long. Click the link in the description. Get a sound bar too. Boing.
All right, welcome. Booney from Detroit, fighting some Detroit Wi-Fi, so we hope this goes smooth, but I'll let everyone know if it gets interrupted. Just a warning. Detroit, we're blaming all of Detroit. Is that fair?
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Okay. Coming off a nice win after the Rays series, but to open up this one nice and 70, get that ovation. Do you think maybe I would have tried to avoid the rubber match and win today? Easiest route to winning a series and getting that monkey off your back. Do you agree with that? Either you're so mad at the question.
That's so broken up.
All right, Boone's back. He's in a giant ballroom. You talking to me? You talking to ghosts?
Nope. Yeah, I got to leave. There's a meeting in here in 15 minutes.
All right, well, okay. Internet is good at the ballpark. Booney is with us. We're going to banter about some stuff. How are the vibes at the ballpark? Now that you're there, guys there, everyone feeling good?
I think so. I mean, we just got off the first bus, and I ran in here to join you knuckleheads. So I threw on my costume real quick, and here we are.
Damn, does that feel bizarre? You're like, I got to do this before I manage the team? Talk to these guys?
Talking to Harkey and Casey and Blake, up there in the front of the bus. I'm like, I got to do John Boy at dinner stuff at the hotel. So,
Don't do that. Matt Blake loves us. You can't. He's probably jealous. Call him over.
He probably is. You're right.
Yeah. Have him show up. Do the old Herb Brooks trick where you just send your assistant in your place every now and then.
You know what? Maybe I'll get him in here, and he can get in the background at the end.
Okay. How's Casey liking it? Is he coming back next year? Is he like, I want this gig? Is he in the coaching world?
We haven't even broached that yet.
Well, I don't mean to ask it in that way. I just mean, has he enjoyed being back in the dugout coaching and all that?
I think he's really enjoyed it, and it's been awesome. And he, obviously we haven't got anywhere to the level of results that we want, but I do feel like he's done a really good job and been really impactful, and I think he's really enjoyed it.
DJ gave him some love the other day, and credited him with the success he's having in the second half. And then last night, Casey had a really funny reaction to Glaber's home run. I don't know if you saw that, the video of that, but it's a pretty good gif. He's talking to Judge about, what did you hit? Yeah. Judge says change up. Oh!
Yeah. Case leads the league in interesting mannerisms. So he'll make some interesting faces all the time. You just keep an eye. If you watch him for a long time, you'll see some interesting faces.
Well, speaking of mannerisms, I mean, we get to see young Everson Pereira play, and you know, it's always so funny when you hear about these guys and then you actually play, and it's like, oh, okay, like kid's got a nice little inside out swing. Like you guys definitely like that. I guess what else over these past couple games have you been seeing out of him that you like, or maybe you didn't know about him?
Yeah, I've seen some at bats where he's been a little bit overmatched, where like, you know, the pitcher's kind of had his way and kind of worked him over a little bit. But within those, I also feel like he processes it well and makes some adjustments. And I agree. I think his swing really has a chance to play because he can really impact the ball the other way. It's kind of that inside out. And I don't feel like he's been overwhelmed by anything. Even some games where he's had a few at bats in a row where he's kind of struggled and looked a little confused. I feel like he's processed it all well. And I'm excited to see him play, you know, regularly here the rest of the way, and to see what he can do, and hopefully, you know, start to gain some traction.
Before we get into all the fun stuff, I got to go the juicy stuff a little bit. The Rays series gets hot. Bench is clear. Obviously, you and Cash have like a calm conversation where I think you said in the postgame the sentiment from you was basically, I get it. You know, I wouldn't like it either. I want to ask more about what you saw or felt when you saw Brandon Lau's comments afterwards saying, you know, they're a last place team and not even a thought. Stings?
Yeah. I mean, a little bit, but that's real. I mean, we got to own that. Like, he's right. I mean, if we were in that position, we'd probably have the same kind of reaction. So he's in that chair right now to be able to say that. And, you know, whether it stings or not, that's a reality.
Be nice if you got another series against them. But that's the end. That's the end of the trop right there.
Crazy.
End of the trop.
Is that a celebration, like a mini celebration? Just like don't have to go back here on the bus ride out? I think it's a mini champagne.
No, still, you know.
Well, losing season. In future years, when you're done with the trop, good season winning series, I think tiny little champagne pops. Just we don't have to go back to the trop.
Oh, the champagne toast from 2020. What was you and Cash kind of met up in the middle of the party there? Is that just a little like, hey, we're clearly not doing this on purpose, like we're good, right? Or what was going on there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he was out there kind of front and center with his team, understandably, and you know, this has to stop and all that. I'm like, okay, like I get it. I mean, I'd be really upset on my side if we're getting hit at that level, and you know, obviously knocked the guy out for a few days. So I get it, but also wanted to be clear that clearly this is not on purpose, and he understood that too. But doesn't make it when you're, you know, you see your guys getting hit, purpose or not, doesn't necessarily make it feel any better.
When you were playing, did you have a team or a pitcher that just seemed to clip you a lot, seemed to pitch you inside and get you? You know, I know Contreras and Cardin or Cubs or whatever, like always got him. Like, did you have a team like that or a pitcher?
That hit me?
Yeah, that hit you. That you felt like every time I faced this guy.
I don't know about that. I got hit a lot in my career. I feel like the Cardinals weren't afraid to let loose in there. But I got hit a lot. So
did you take pride in it like Rizzo does?
Not like Rizzo does.
Okay. No one does. Yeah.
He's a
because I had one season where I broke my hamate, I broke my wrist, and I broke my thumb all in one season, 3 different hit by pitches that knocked me out for different periods. So I had to kind of learn how to get hit a little bit better, you know, because I used to, especially against hard throwing righties with like a good 2-seam action, you know, I'd see that ball in, I'd start like that, and I'd get out of the way like this, and I'd expose my hands. I had to kind of learn how to really roll into that where you take it off the back of your arm or your back or whatever. So I had to kind of train myself a little bit for that.
You're in the middle of that. All the players on the field, it's the last time the two teams are seeing each other. There's been a lot of hit by pitches. Is there like a little adrenaline spike? Like, you're basically two players away from like something happening, and you're right in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, look, anytime bench is clear, there's always, a little adrenaline, and there's always a lot of testosterone out there. As a manager, you're just trying to kind of keep the peace and make sure where you can put out fires and, try to calm anyone down on your side, while also kind of keeping your head on a swivel, making sure
right.
You never know, who loses it out there, and anything can happen. So just doing the best to kind of maintain order.
And in the back of your head, you're like, Cash is probably 5'10". I got him, so we're good.
Wow. It is a little like Sharks and Jets. You're feeling when the two managers are out there with their whole teams behind them. It's like, whoa, this is kind of badass. And then the ump was kind of like, it was almost like a boxing thing and letting you guys go. He was nodding like, okay, this is fair. Yeah, I agree with the conversation here. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we'll change to the next topic. We had, I just clicked out of it.
I'll go Kinger. We've talked about it a little bit, if Matt Blake's in earshot. Jimmy was on this. He's a bigger pitch mix guy than me, and we talked about it a little bit, like coming from the last time Mike King started to now. Which start was it? He was really only 2 pitches, right? And I guess we were wondering, is that almost like a form of training to, most starting pitchers, the first time through the lineup, they usually go 2 pitches. Is that kind of tapping into that as a starting pitcher? That's just what the matchup had.
No, yeah. I mean, certainly you're going to, starting pitchers, you try and establish certain things, but those game plans change almost, game to game and depending on the opponent and stuff. So no, that's just more who he's facing, where he is in the lineup, who's on, what count is it, things like that dictate that stuff. But no, nothing, he's still going to use his full arsenal.
Are you following? We got call-ups coming up. I mean, are you watching Dominguez? I know you talked about Wells. I know Dominguez is interesting to me because I kind of asked you guys about him, or asked you about him last week, and was he going to come up and watch? And you said, well, if he comes up, he's going to play. And now there is some shifting going on in the minors, so it feels like maybe there's more chance he comes up, sees time. It would be unorthodox, I think, for the Yanks, but he's only played one team, the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. But they're sick of him because he's hitting like 450
Went to work.
and really doing damage. So is that something you're tracking, or for Dominguez is just enjoy AAA the rest of the way and get comfortable?
No, I think it's definitely something we're following, and but yeah, it's get going here at AAA, an important step, and hopefully it continues to go well. But he's definitely at least keeping the conversation going there. About how we want to approach the end of the season.
It's exciting. Yeah. Switch hits.
Yeah.
Short guy.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, we're short. Yeah.
Like that.
How does managing work at times like these, season like this, your first season like this, but you have Bader, you have IKF, 2 guys that are looking to get contracts next year and play to get their stats up and keep going. And you also have the kind of, we're playing Pereira, we're playing Peraza, we're seeing what we got with the kids. How does managing that go and players like that?
You just try and be upfront with guys. And, when it first happened, I talked with Kiner, that, this might impact him and his playing time a little bit. He certainly understands that. The good thing is those guys, they're going to be free agents. So, I think going into free agency, you're going to kind of get what you get. They're not playing for arbitration numbers now. They're not trying to stockpile. Like the market's going to be what it is for those guys. So, they're going to play, and Kiner's been in there the last few days. Bader's back in there tonight, so they'll continue to play.
We just got this update from the official Yankees account that Josh Donaldson has been released. Can you talk to us about what it went into that decision?
It just a lot of potentially gives him an opportunity to catch on somewhere. He wasn't going to be able to come off the IL for another couple weeks. And with our situation and obviously bringing up some of the kids and stuff, there wasn't going to be that playing time. So we just felt like the timing was right to go ahead and do that.
Man, first episode of Boone in the afternoon, and we get breaking news. That's
we should have scheduled these for 2:00 all year.
Is that the Yankees have very much prided themselves on taking care of veteran players and handling guys the right way. Like we've seen that a lot over the past couple years. Like was this a little bit of like a kind of a handshake with Josh? Like, good luck to you. We gave it a run, and like you said, he gets a chance to, if he signs in the next couple days, right? He can be on a playoff roster.
Yeah, I mean, now anything's possible. So hopefully, whatever Josh decides to do with it moving forward, we just felt like it was the timing was right. It was the right thing to do.
Oh.
So we're gonna see a lot of Peraza, Pereira, Cabrera, Volpe. How do you manage the four of those? Is Oswaldo going to get run? He looked good yesterday, hitting fastballs all over the place.
Yeah, it was good to see him, really put together some really good at-bats like that. Made a great play at third, obviously. I thought had some pretty good at-bats even in Tampa the day before. So, yeah, he's going to get opportunities. Not in there tonight against the lefty. But he's gonna, he'll get in there and get his chances too. But it was good to see him have some really consistent ABs yesterday. I thought Olsen for them was really good. Like he was. You watch that game, man, and even the guys that came in, they did not make a lot of mistakes on the mound, and the few that they did, we actually capitalized on. But I thought that Olsen guy kind of opened some eyes just with the quality of the stuff and where he was living at the bottom and just out of the zone. It's part of the reason why we're able to get him out of there, with I think one out in the fifth inning because, we were able to ride his pitch count. But, he was punching us out pretty big time. And I thought it was a lot of, that two-seamer and that breaking ball with the changeup were pretty good weapons for him yesterday.
I'm excited about facing a lefty today. I might go to DraftKings. I mean, I told you last series, I said you guys were going to take 2 out of 3. It was before we recorded because you had 2 lefties at game 2 and 3, and you were almost there. And I was going to come back and I was going to brag and see. I told you I had faith, and then it didn't happen. Game 3
against the Nats.
Yeah, against the Nats. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
We should have done more off of Corbin. We were hitting the ball around that day. Had a couple chances to really break open that game, and weren't able to do it. That's a game I feel like we should have had.
I agree.
3 votes.
3 votes. Okay.
3 votes.
What about Wells? The last question we had was you guys haven't moved Wells around in the minor leagues at all, and now it came out that you're going to have him play some first base. Are you involved in those conversations, or?
Yeah, it came out that I said that. It's funny how see this is the out of context thing.
Yeah.
I was asked, would you ever consider him playing like a left field or first base? I said, yeah, that's all in consideration.
Yeah.
But part of the reason he's only caught this year is because we've put a premium on developing that as a catcher, and it's gone really well. We've seen him make some significant strides, and we want to keep that going. So
the plan isn't to have him play first.
Boone said he's going to go play first. So
so we'll it's an option, but it's not a plan.
Yeah, it's not necessarily happening yet.
Who's asking you all these open-ended questions? We got to get them.
I know could always be on the table, especially with a guy like him who obviously we feel like swings the bat like he does.
Are you guys September call-ups are coming? You get the 2 more roster spots. Do you guys are those 2 pitchers? Do you go pitcher and hitter? Like I'm half asking the rules because you don't have. I don't think you have to pick.
A pitcher hitter, yeah.
It has to be a pitcher and a hitter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That piques our interest.
You can only have 14 pitchers.
Oh, okay. So that's how that.
Oh, even
in.
with that? Okay.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So what hitter's going to come up? Martian? That's exciting.
We'll see.
Wait, hold on. Boone, is there a chance Jasson Dominguez is called up in September? Okay, he's coming up. That's how it works. We'll just tweet out, Boone says Martian to be promoted. Soon.
We have conversations all the time. Stop it.
We Booney, last time we saw you was in person. We're chuckling. You saw The Office. There's a good amount of Yankee fans. I think we had a nice time. We were laughing. It was out of a comedy TV show. You leave, go down the elevator. All of us are like, okay, let's get back into our workday. Next person up the elevator is our guy Joez McFly, and he says,
Yes.
I bumped into Booney downstairs. We all started laughing. Like, what? Can you walk us through that exchange? Because that had to be pretty funny.
Yeah, so I see him just walking down a Manhattan street, walking right to your office, and I recognized him right away because I can picture some of those things where he's got his, helmet on with his headphones. Let's rock and go! So sometimes in here I'll say that to like Mendoza. Let's rock and go! That's Joez McFly. So I got to see him in person.
He says he was excited that you were the same height. That was the one thing he told us.
Yeah.
So
As him?
As
Yeah,
him.
not us.
Not us, no. Us stacked. But yeah.
I think I had him. I think I was looking down.
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a big
I
slot.
think he was. That's a little wishful thinking maybe on this.
Okay.
He's a wishful
I'll tell him
thinking guy.
says you're shorter than him. Let him know. Cool. All right. Well, enjoy. Thanks for figuring out the internet, doing this at 2. Appreciate that.
All right. Thank you guys. Take care.
See you, Booney. Well, that was Booney. And I'm texting with Joez right now. You're in the chat. You can see it. But I was letting Boone know. I said to Joez, I said, asking Boone about you right now. He just did an impression of you, says he quotes you in the clubhouse, says you're shorter than him. In quotes, I was looking down at him. I think that's wishful thinking on his part. Joez said, no way. We're the same height. Confirmed. Looking down at him is crazy. He shouldn't have tiptoed. Yeah, he shouldn't have tiptoed, so he admits it.
Looking down on him was crazy. That was
saying he shouldn't have.
That was our first Boone in the afternoon, brought to you by Vizio. Yeah, Jim, you said it before we started rolling. What are you calling it? Fall training?
Fall training.
I kind of like that.
I mean, those are the vibes right now. Listen, fans, you can still be mad if you want to still be mad because the season was absolute horseshit and the roster construction made no sense.
Bad.
DFAing Hicks and releasing Donaldson and IKF's just here is like kind of, yeah. You've ruined it with those moves. I already did all that. People were getting upset because I was so I was so pissed for so long. So you can go back to a month ago and watch those episodes if you want angry versions of the shows. I'm over it. It's going to suck going to the postseason, not being part of it. It's still going to eat at me a little bit, but I can't just get on here and be miserable. So once you accept fall training, you get to have a little more jokey conversations.
There's hours of us being upset if you want to
the
check
next
it out.
part when fall training ends and we're in a gap between fall training and spring training, I think I'm going to go back to being upset.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned this to you. I said when they said they're not playing the Rays till April 19th of next year, I was like, ooh, that hit me a little bit. I was like, damn, so for me, there's going to be a few of those the rest of the way. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of ignorance is bliss, and I think there's going to be a couple times we get popped in the mouth. Pretty wild that the Donaldson news happened live. The Yankees Twitter account put that out. I know BBD's in the box over there, but your reaction and your face was pretty good. I hope we might have to do a zoom in on that.
But you know what? No, I don't even want to say it. They could have been too stubborn to not do that. They 60-dayed him when he said he didn't need it.
Yeah.
And then when he's healthy, maybe he's pissed at them like, hey, well, play me or release me, because maybe Donaldson thinks the team's going to pick him up. But, playing him would have been such a disservice to them, to the fans, to Donaldson, to the Yankees, and a slap in the face to the fans, to be honest.
Yeah.
So at least they didn't do that, because I was expecting it.
It seems like the team has accepted that this is the portion of the year we're at. Like, they called up Pereira and Peraza, said they're going to play every day or pretty much every day. Peraza gets hit in the hand, so he got a night, but
Joez has got all the excuses.
Yeah,
now.
Joez apparently listens when we talk, because
this is getting sad. He said that
his hair was the difference. I'll grow mine out.
He said he shouldn't have been on his tiptoes. I said, so then you admit he was taller than you, if you're saying he was on, and then he said, next time I'll stand on the same side of the street he was on, because he was on a higher hill.
Using the hill road excuse.
It's a real thing for short guys, but
it's a very real thing.
Joez is acting like he's our height.
I was pretty
sad to have such short energy. From
my
Joez.
Wedding day, I was a little bummed out. The groom's side was a little lower on the hill. I was like, come on, what are we doing? People?
No one looked at you once.
Short guy wedding.
You're basically invisible.
We went to we're doing all
people
the
don't look
pictures.
at the groom.
We were doing all the pictures.
So
yeah,
rarely.
but if you notice that the groom is shorter, then you notice the groom.
No one noticed anything. It was just raining a lot.
We
were
went to
worried
do
about Kraus doing a history lesson.
We went to do one. We went to do one. We're doing the post. Okay, let's do all the photos, right? And there's one where the groom's supposed to be behind the girl, but the girl's supposed to stand on something, and the photographer just laughed. And he's like, "Oh no!" So that's a little window into the life of a shorter man. Anything else, Yanks?
No, his job is really hard with IKF and Bader right now, because they shouldn't really get run. Try Pereira in center, Oswaldo in left. It's a very tough gig to just
cross center field off the list.
Just put them in the back burner, but
that's
splitting time. It is tough, and it's kind of his answer was kind of like, I'm prepping them for that. Your ARB numbers, your ARB you're not gonna.
That's
your value's your value. He's saying
that's where it's funny. You wonder how the Donaldson stuff actually went down, because the Yankees, who do pride themselves on that as an organization, IKF's out. He's a free agent. I don't know. In theory, could they do that with him? I don't think they will. I think they just like him in the locker room, which there's probably some Donaldson discussions there. And he can play everywhere. He's useful to get you through September. But I don't know if
if one guy gets hurt, they feel like they'll suddenly really, really need.
If we're the Yanks who look out for veterans and giving them opportunities, I don't know. Just because Donaldson's hurt and not good.
I don't think Bader's going to get everyday run. They've already kind of showed that. They might just be a platoon out there, but that's a waste of a platoon even.
Right.
Two of them. So we'll see. September might be different. I have no idea. I know nothing.
Call up Dominguez.
I know that he leaves his windows open because they're always talking, which is funny.
Yeah.
But it does seem like that's something that's in play, which I would have guessed never. More than 20%.
I think, and call me out if I'm wrong. Dominguez.
I sure will.
Dominguez is best. I think coming into this year, because Joez was on a call up Dominguez with Volpe, and I was like, Joez, no way, bro.
Yeah.
That's
You're
not
so
happening.
short, dude.
You're so short, Joez. But there was a world where Dominguez killed AA, got a taste of AAA, and the Yanks would call him up, and it's I didn't dream up the part where the Yankees stunk, but as we've looked on to next year, and there's not a ton of free agents and stuff, Dominguez and Pereira's are our best starts to changing how this team looks and feels. That I don't know, what I guess I truly don't know what experience Dominguez is getting by beating up on the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
I looked at the pitchers he's facing, and not a lot. But he has only played 7 games against the Iron Pigs, so I think you got to go let him. That's not even AAA.
It's not even AAA.
That's just the Iron Pigs.
You just played the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
Yeah. So he needs to go see another team. And I think that's the full show. And
Okay.
we're glad that you guys enjoyed it so much. Thank you for sticking around. Subscribe to the channel.
Ooh, mullet night tonight at Lehigh Valley.
Go.
$1 hot dogs. And there's a tail wagging contest.
Sun will also
Dollar
set.
dogs on
We're
mullet.
not calling
night?
it sunset night. Go Yanks, Tom Grams.
Go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees. Hey, how about them?